What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So something I wanted to talk about was the vehicle traversal in Gotham Knights. We're going to look at that in Arkham Knight as well. While I try to play the game and talk in this video, I'm playing a mode where if you get hit once, you basically are destroyed. You're basically melted. So you really have to be on point. And I'm not using a mouse. I'm just using a controller. So bear with me if I were to stutter. Now, the vehicle traversal in Arkham Knight was actually quite solid. There's no doubt that that was actually one of the best ways that you could actually move Batman around the city without making the game boring in a sense. So you could, you had many options. That was a good thing about it. You could actually go around the city and you could, run around and do missions. You could run around or you could drive. In fact, sometimes your Batmobile was interwoven into puzzles and so on and so forth. The challenge, nonetheless, was it became almost something that you depended too much on, even though the system was clean, even though the vehicle actually worked very well. It moves like butter. I make a joke that you can actually fry eggs on the hood of this, Batmobile because it's just that clean in the way that it's actually designed. There's no doubt that this took some amazing feats of video game engineering to pull this thing off. I can't imagine how much work, I can't imagine how much calculation, how much sleepless nights it would have taken these developers to come up with something so responsive, whether you're playing at 30 or 60 FPS. But nonetheless, it is something that I think they overused in the story portion of this game, that if you were to, ask me if we're going to redo this game all over again, there's no doubt that this thing does not need to be, be done that way ever again in its entire, span of developing video games. They should never do anything like that. Which brings me to the conversation of the Bat Bike, the Bat Cycle, whatever it is you want to call it these days, that I think as, a gaming coalition, how is that going to be interwoven into the game? And is it going to be done enough, or is it something that's going to be done in a way that it just provides you an alternative to travel around the world? Either way, at this point, there are already a lot of different opinions as to how that's going to work in terms of traversal. So I really do think that the developers need to probably just go to town with that Bat Cycle, if at all they can. So maybe longevity for a game like Gotham Knights would include things like, end game activities like the one that I'm playing right now. I think that's going to be sufficient to allow for this character itself to be featured in the game. Maybe things like crime solving, like, we saw in that Red Hood trailer, where Red Hood is basically on, a bike chasing down a truck that supposedly has, baddies in them. And he's basically going to take them down. There's no doubt about that. He's just doing his thing. I think this is something that they can integrate into it. That could also be races, because I don't know if you guys saw in that PC trailer, they drifted. Somebody was basically going all screech all over the place. So that gives me some level of, I don't know. It gives me some level of, anticipation as to how this is actually going to flow, because I strongly, believe that you need to basically make do and make use of everything that shows up in your game. So my question too for the developers in a sense is, how are they going to pull this off? How are they going to make sure that this Bat Cycle doesn't get wasted in the grand scheme of things, and, are able to bring it into the game? I cannot believe I'm making this video and actually dodging all of this barrage of craziness in this small circle. I guess your goal is to actually try to get the highest, point or score that you can. And such, oh my gosh, there's this thing here. Oh yeah, there was no way I was gonna get through that. Did I beat it already? I need to know if I beat it. Did I get a 3-star? Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna end the video right here. I'm just joking. But as I was saying, I'm thinking to myself, if there at least is a way that the developers can integrate this particular system, in terms of expanding the vehicle combat and making sure that it's something that has some level of, or adds a layer of replayability to the game, it will really open the door for having people spend multiple hours on, Gotham Knights itself without having the pressure, of thinking maybe this game is going to turn into some kind of end game grind fest, but at least provide activities that even when you play the game for hundreds of hours, you may never touch. If you notice here on this account, this is an account that I actually have 240% completion, but a lot of the end game activities, which are not necessarily part of that, progress, the 120% each, for the story anyways, those activities are not even a part of it. I still have a bunch more to go and I haven't touched them. So there's still that nagging feeling from time to time where I have to come back and say these AR challenges are things that I need to do. So even though the developers are more than likely going to follow that footprint to give players a feel of that Arkham game, I still think that they can also continue the expansion all the way this way. Now, the question is it something that is going to launch with the game? I hope it is, because that then adds another layer of how many, possible hours or how many more, I don't know how many more playable scenarios you have overall in the game, and how you can actually feel like you've been rewarded with a bunch of content that surrounds the game. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section surrounding the potential expansion of the vehicle combat, the vehicle aspect in the end game. Do you think that there are modes that they can use them for to provide some level of, just, I would say, fun for the players? Because even here, there are racing modes that you have that are also here as well. I don't know if I want to do a bike racing mode, but hey, if they're going to go ahead and tease it in their Intel PC trailer that they did, where I think it was a Batgirl that screeched and did or the one that Robin did where he did a donut, pretty much. I think these are things that we probably need to be able to handle. Or maybe you and your friends can actually set up these modes for yourself. You and your friend can race, in a co-op situation and try to make your way to a specific destination in a given time. So I think there's going to be a lot of fun to be had in Gotham Knights overall. The co-op element really does bring something in, but it'll be interesting to see how everybody responds and how everyone is able to go ahead and approach the game. So like I said, talk to me in the comment section. I really appreciate your time and audience. Thanks so much for watching these videos, and thank you so much for all of your support. And hopefully we'll talk very soon in another one. Peace out.